I just got out of Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, and I've got to say, I wasn't terribly impressed. I'm as surprised as anyone, especially when you look at how high the Rotten Tomatoes score currently is. But that's not a reason to decide on liking a movie or not liking a movie. So I'm going to be honest, even though it is rather difficult in this situation, because so many people do seem to like this film. Unfortunately, what I don't like about Dunkirk is that there isn't a ton of character development. And I love character development. I want to get to know the individuals that I'm watching on screen, know their backstories, their motivations, their interests, and so on and so forth. I don't need to know that they played basketball in high school, or perhaps that they have a loved one back at home, but I need to know what moves them. What are they passionate about? That's what Dunkirk kind of lacks. The reason that it lacks this is because there's so little dialogue in the film. And I think that that's really challenging and interesting, but it becomes problematic when you're really trying to connect with the characters. Something more problematic, though, than the lack of dialogue is the fact that you are following multiple characters throughout this film, and you're constantly being thrown from one story to another, or one perspective to another, really. And that's completely jarring sometimes to the mind. So what I would suggest is you walk in with expectations maybe a little lower than what Rotten Tomatoes is telling you. Dunkirk is a good movie. It is an incredible spectacle. The sound effects are thrilling. The immersive experience that it creates for any individual watching the film is unlike any other. I can still imagine the planes flying through the air and screeching like banshees, or the gunfire early in the film that puts you on the edge of your seat from the beginning. I even got goosebumps early on in the film, and I found that to be incredibly surprising, because after that moment, I started to get bored, because I could no longer really tie to any particular character. Now, to be fair, Christopher Nolan clearly is presenting war as it should be presented. There aren't moments like in Saving Private Ryan where people are sitting around talking to one another and getting to know each other. In reality, war is chaotic. It is that immersive and tension-filled experience that so few of us have ever had the, displeasure of experiencing. War is pain, and he perfectly presents that if that's what you're looking for. But personally, I like the characters that Christopher Nolan has developed in his previous films. So it was surprising that there wasn't a lot of character development in this film. I wish that maybe he didn't focus so much on the spectacle and focused a little bit more on the character building and the substance of the story. Because I wasn't able to connect, then I wasn't able to emotionally give myself to this film. And that's kind of frustrating. Again, the spectacle is incredible. He uses practical effects any chance he gets. He creates realistic environments for all of his characters, and there are some real great moments of tension. But overall, it's a film that kind of plays flat for me. And the reason is, the characters aren't there, and they're not developed. It's a little too jumpy for me in terms of the storytelling process, which is saying something because I just watched Memento and loved it even more this time around. And it focuses too much on the spectacle and doesn't focus enough on the substance of the story. So what I'm saying basically is, go see Dunkirk, because it's a baffling film and it's worth experiencing. There are some incredible moments in it, but I'd love to get your opinion on what you think of this film, because personally, I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I expected to love it. So many people have been saying it's the best movie of the year, but I just don't see it. In fact, a lot of movies are higher up on my list of best movies of the year. But give it a shot. It's worth it for that, and Christopher Nolan is one of the finest filmmakers of our day, and he deserves people to go see his films. Thanks.